I mean, you've been around for a few years, and you've seen basketball change a lot and take on different faces. What's the biggest change that you've noticed as a coach?
I think that you look at the growth of the game and how exciting the media exposure is, how exciting the attendance is now at some of the elite programs, and how exciting the fundamental skills of some of the younger players have advanced. But with that, we have some unfortunate drawbacks, and those would be that we have a tendency sometimes to look at our brothers and say that this is where we want to be and this is who we want to be, and really one of the greatest things that women's basketball has provided is really somewhat of a difference from the men's game, in that we are still fundamentally sound and we play the majority of the game below the rim. And I see us sometimes take on some of their negative habits, some of the lackadaisical attitude in a warm-up situation or a work ethic situation, or what is it in for me lately, versus where there was such a great hunger to learn several years ago in the infancy stages of our game. Now there's an expectation that there's something in it for them without having to work for it, without having to earn it. It's almost like I deserve this versus I need to earn this.
Also, another question. I have several people ask me this online. The difference between recruiting with girls and boys, and why is it does it seem that men commit sooner than girls? Because there are a lot of people that are still undecided on the women's side. What factors do you think are involved in that?
Well, I think that first of all, in discussing recruiting, the level playing field in recruiting is obviously a concern, and one that we'll need to address on the national level at some point in time. But that being said, I think the difference between the boys and the girls right now, the girls take into consideration so many varying factors, not just basketball per se, but they look at the academics, they look at the campus environment, they look at the weather, they look at the housing situations. They really look at the shopping opportunities. There are so many circumstances that go into a woman's decision versus a male's decision. And I think for the most part, a man would sit in a recruiting visit and say, do you play basketball? Are you going to help me get better? And can I get a good education? And that being said, they're going to make a decision based on what kind of chemistry they have with the staff and with the players. On the other hand, a woman wants to know how many games are on television, how do you travel, where do you stay when you travel, what is the environment like in the city, is it safe, what are the majors of other students on the team. There are so many factors that go into a female decision versus a male decision, and so I think rightfully it would take them much longer to make a good decision.
You guys are ranked 25th And then on another poll, you were 24th in the nation. What's been your focus to get back into the elite?
Well, first of all, I think you got to recruit good people. And you got to recruit people that believe in a passion to work. And it's not just gamers. It's people that believe that every day they need to continue to get better. And they have to work towards that goal. Not just on the court, but in the classroom as well. Because now, with all the rules of eligibility, you can't take off a semester either. There's no such thing as taking off a semester. You must pass 6 hours every semester in order to continue to play. So you have to pick the right people. In our situation, we have to pick the right people that are willing to develop themselves, to continue to improve and become better players. And that takes even more work ethic. So I think it's the selection of the right individuals, the type of blue-collar workers that you can get in your program, and they become elite.